Hey, pretty people. Welcome to Write More Light. My name is a couple of minutes where I would be comfortable for 20 minutes or whatever, so I apologize. I wanted to today talk about I do I'm going to talk for a while about a topic, and then I'm going to tell you what's up in the Midwest Writing Center world, and then we're going to so I've noticed waited till Thursday. Didn't want to I didn't want to. um I'm out of symbolic pressure built up around things like New Year's and is where I go into that whole thing that we reflect on the year behind us and then to make goals and resolutions about the things that we want to do and have neglected or new development have given us new ideas, whatever. But I find that the we talk a lot in at least on TV and the media in general about how like New Year's resolutions get February or whatever. And I think that the primary thing about that is the pressure. We base our whole, or at least a lot of our worth around our accomplished goals that are really hard, and we deserve breaks, and we are not perfect. So, and I talk a lot about how to like ideas about how to keep practice and how to um, motivate without adding too much pressure because I truly strongly believe that pressure is the all. You're not successful and then to keep up. So if you're with new writing resolutions or um, ideas about that will not be so intimidating that you abandon ship. This is something that I've worked on for several years. Like I said, anytime there's an anniversary that causes reflection on last year and to come, if you've ever looked into how to maintain, I'm not giving you any advice you've never heard before. Many of these videos, you'll recognize some of the advice here too. But first, um, advice like a long-term goal, like 5, 10 year plans, right? 5 year plan, yeah. Um, they say, okay, look at the big picture, step back, like backwards calendar, in order to get X every week, every month. What does progress look like? If you don't know what a backwards calendar is, it's something that folks in event a lot of the time. You say, okay, publication date 25th. And if anybody's birthday is April 25th, happy birthday. This imaginary magazine is coming out on your birthday. We'll name it after you. Um, so, in order to have that as my publication date, what day do I need to get it to the printer? Printed, then what day does it need to get to the printer? What day do I need to have my final proof done? Then my proof, etc. You move backwards from the ultimate goal in order to figure out where you and give yourself small deadlines, which are easier to meet. That's one of the things that that makes it easier to keep up with goals. So I haven't planned on doing it like just before making this video, but I didn't. um, so forgive me if I end up making these not my actual for real goals, but maybe I'll update. Maybe we can have this be like an interactive in the future, an accountability. We can all be a community of accountability buddies. I'd like to that I've had for and failed to do because life happens, right? And because I didn't do the advice that I'm giving you right now. So I want to a manuscript of a collection of works by December 30 to do December 1, 2021. What do I need to do? The 12 months, 6 weeks at a time, whatever. But I can't go into the year, knowing me, I can't go into the year saying, all right, I'm going to have a manuscript and not know what the first step is. First, I need to look at what do I have written already? Is there a cohesive way to do it? Is there a common format? And I know myself, and I know that most of, if I were to do a collection of essays, because that's what I write mostly, most of the stuff I have written is in letter format. Do I want to do only letters? And if not, how am I going to put it together? But ready, and potential ways of fitting that together, especially stick to only one genre or form, right? If I stick to doing, or if it's me, right, and I have mostly letters already written, but a handful of regular form, I don't want to have to stick on. It's a little bit limiting, for sure. Then I look at the content. You know, do I write mostly about love? Do I write what's going to, do I want it to have a theme running through it, or am I going to look at that later? Me, personally, I'll look at it later because I don't want to limit myself on step one. Then the I'm going to figure out is to include in a manuscript. Well, how long is going to be rich? How is a typical nonfiction script by a single author? Now, I am not including in this hypothetical goal, that's probably very real, come later. My goal is to make a goal to write and complete, not just I'll have like one rough draft every month, and then month. So that's, can I, is that feasible? Of my large 20 instead of having manuscript would be to to is goal. An important one would be to work in cheats for myself. So part of that, if I'm really, really single day, which is not me, and that is where I give up, I would want to do 10 pages a week. How many days are in a month? 30. I want to write 30 times in a month, or 28 times in a month. Something to give myself little breaks. Alternatively, David R. Collins' advice that I like, thing every day rather than write every day. Just some kind of sticker chart. I don't have a sticker chart. I do a lot of the like bullet journal style, little more stuff. I'll make every day, so having something to like fill in a bubble, you are keeping track, and right? 5 times a week for me is more feasible. Times a week, even better. And then you can give your two. I've said this before, but I don't recommend it being monetary, not something that you buy as a reward, but some way to treat yourself. cost money, because it's a whole rabbit hole to have stuff that costs money be your reward. Uh, if you make it 3 months and you've written every day or 40 times, is like, cool, go buy yourself a fancy pen set. You, or the way you reward yourself, there are self like reading time, or probably, I've said this before, I'll make a short video about because I have a whole list of them and they are not in my head or near me. Self rewards. That's don't consider a 1-day failure as failure. It's a whole thing. Like, you can't do that to yourself, or you will give up / fail. I don't love the word fail. Yeah. So the big thing is working backwards from a large goal to figure out how to do it in little bits. And then not giving up, giving yourself the freedom or cheat or whatever. I would say I wouldn't have to write every day. My goal would be contribute to my writing, right? Do one writing. So that includes research, and that includes reading, and that includes thinking. Maybe you just writerly every day or 5 days a week, whatever. And that can include, going down a master class or YouTube spiral with writers. Just do something for those who are motivated by the pressure of New Year's. Like, I had in my head and in our description, motivation and pressure, but some people are motivated by pressure. Not motivated by pressure at all, but I'm motivated by the idea of beginnings, of New Year's, of anniversary. Jogging about my priorities, thinking about my motivation, and that's a really good thing to do. Us down here pretty quick, but please do let us know what your goals, what sort of you may need in how to keep to those. I have New Year's goals and ways to keep tons of others. Prose writer, and a poetry or like traditional prose. If you're or a hybrid writer, the go into work from me, autobiographical essays, totally different. You have different forms of media to different. Way out of line. Most important thing to take away from this is to break it up into small chunks and to be kind to yourself. Yeah, if you're motivated by the New Year's too, I am. It's a time for me to reevaluate and really think about what I have accomplished. And I think that's, even if you are not currently writing or active in your art, you don't have to look at what you've done this year or what you haven't done this year, particularly in 2020 when new and changing and difficult. What are you most proud of historically in your work, and what are you taking with you from the work that you've created, and what has been successful for you in the past, and how can you continue to do that thing. So I'm going to, oh no, I don't have it. Maybe my watch has a timer. I'm sorry that you have to sit here with me for this. Okay. Nope. All right. I'm gonna timer on me. Ask you to please set your own timer for 5 minutes and think about these. Figure on the new year and on. I forgot to tell you what's up with Midwest Writing. We still chapbook series. That is 31 New Year's Day. So that can be your last goal of this year of 2020. Get those chat Facebook page, on our Instagram. A chapbook, a super short compilation of accepting a single author. They're usually put out by small presses, and you'll get a little bit of money if you get published. And yeah, we're not even being exclusive to most places. We also have our coming up. The deadline for submissions for one, and creeping up close to the end of the giving campaign. This is in the world. We have a grant that will match up to $5,000 in donation. Means your donation, even if you can only get $20, gets us $40. That's what keeps us bringing our programming to you, bringing our excellent teachers to you, and without you. Thank you for watching those and more center community. That writing prompt is going to be it's totally dope if you just need to journal or free write on New Year's resolutions, on goals, but also go ahead and make some poetry. To be specific to the stuff I've been talking about today. That's always where I base the writing prompts, is in the content of today's video. But, you know, there's and tons of content out there to be made about New Year's. As more later, have a great day, and I'll see you Thursday.